Morning, guys and gals. Froggy here. This is my Smith & Wesson M&P 15-22, and I promised one of my subscribers that I would do a video on this Leupold scope being mounted on it. So I already got it mounted. Sorry, I was just in a little bit of a hurry and put it on there, and there's really not that much to how I put it on there. However, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to move these rings, maybe just this ring, I'm not sure, because I've got a full pick rail on the top here. So I think I move this one up one and move this one forward 2 or 3. The scope will stay the same place relationship to my eyeball, which will be right there. But it'll look a little better, I think, and it maybe will hold. I mean, it's only a 22, so it's not going to kick very hard. There's not much recoil to deal with, but it will hold the scope a little bit better rather than having all the mounting strength on one end of the scope. Just kind of spread it out a little bit. Anyway, so I'm going to show you that. It's really going to be just a matter of marking some spots. I've got a little piece of tape here. Maybe probably take that off after I get settled in on where I want it. And I think this is just a 10 millimeter nut, and it's not much else to it. You spread the movable part of the ring piece that goes onto the rail. You spread it apart a little bit, move it, put it back where you want it. So need 2 hands for a second here. So I made this little muzzle cover. Yeah, Froggy doesn't want to spend money when I can make something up from materials that I have around the house. This is just packing material that something came in. I don't know what, but it's strong. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna attract any water because I never leave my guns in a damp place anyway. Although, I guess it could, but let's assume I'm smart enough not to let this get soaked in water. If, I was using my gun in extreme conditions or in the rain or something like that, I would not be putting this over the muzzle. But anyway, this is, I don't know, it's not supposed to look like a muzzle brake, I guess. I'm not sure. It doesn't really need, it's not appropriate on this gun, this carbine, but I think they just do it for looks probably. Flip up front sight. Real nice and easy to use. The flip up rear sight doesn't work when the scope is on there. Actually, that's a thought. Nah, even if I flipped it up, the scope would block using the iron sights. So it does have a flip up rear sight. Charging handle, just like an AR. Apparently, collapsible stock on a 22 is legal in all states, as far as I know. Safe and fire is your safety. Let me see. Mag release is there on the right side. This is the bolt lock back here. Bolt release. Let the bolt slide forward. Okay? So let's play around with these and move them a little bit. And we want to keep this right. I don't even have to mark it. It just has to, because I already fitted this to my eye and to where I wanted the stock to be. So just going to make sure the scope still lines up. The back of the scope lines up right there. And I can put these anywhere I want. Okay? So these nuts are actually 1/2 inch, which doesn't surprise me. Leupold. I don't know if these are Leupold rings or not, but they always overbuild their scopes. This is arguably one of the best companies that make scopes. This is a 3 to 6, I think. Yeah. These on top here are T10, Torx 10. All right, so look at that. 4 on one ring and 4 on the other ring. So overbuilt. So to my eye, I think that would be all right. Or maybe just a little bit wider. But I have to deal with the spacing here too. I don't know. I'm going to try that and see how it looks after I move these. Looks like I'm going to need to go 2 slots forward. So just a couple of details. We were talking about where to put the rings on the scope and then onto the carbine. And the main thing appears to be not to have your back ring too close to your power adjustment. And, like a 1/2 inch or so would be as close as you would want it. This has obviously got tons of space, so you can get your hand in there and adjust your magnification. The other thing is when you tighten down the rings on the scope, you want this gap and this gap and this gap and this gap all to be about the same gaps. Oh, sorry about that. I got my big fat hand in front of the lens. Sometimes I wish the lens on these cameras was like more in the middle, but yeah, maybe I should film this with a better camera than my phone camera. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I think I'm going to spread this out on the scope like another 1/2 inch or so maybe, and then put this, well, that will be determined by the spacing of these slots, but roughly a 1/2 inch, which is maybe 1 slot actually. And then I'll move this to where I need it to be for that. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about bore sighting. Maybe even show you if I can rig it up how I'm going to bore sight this. Okay? Now my best suggestion on getting the crosshairs level is to put the carbine up to your shoulder and actually look through it. I trust my eyes more than a lot of laboratory or technical tools. So I'm going to see if I can do this. I have got it aimed at the wall. And I'm going to just try and do this. I don't know if it's going to work or not. See, my camera lens is a little mounted too high, I think. So you have to take my word for it. I'm holding that out, pointed at the wall. You can't see it because the angle's no good. But to my eye, that's level. If I hold the camera at a 90-degree angle, this is because of where the lens is on the phone. But if I do that, you can see the crosshairs. But they're going to be out of focus. There, that's a little better focus. Right now I just got it laying on my bench and pointed at a towel. But yeah, so when I put my eye up there, they look like they are nice and level. Okay? So for my final tightening on these, I would suggest a crisscross like that. Crisscross like that. Don't do all one side and all the other side. All my gaps here are good. I'm not going to go put a feeler gauge in there or something that's, got different thicknesses. trust my eyes for a lot of this stuff. And I'm not going to put any Loctite on any of these because it's 22 caliber, not much recoil. And I'd rather just take my tools and tighten them once in a while. Now, on a big caliber, I might do Loctite, maybe. Okay. The only other thing I would do on this, I'm not going to do it, but I could go one slot there and one slot there. It would not put this ring too close to the adjuster, but I'm really pretty happy with it right there. I think that looks good. It's a solid mount onto the carbine, and there you go. Now, bore sighting I'm going to do a separate video on, if I do it at all. First, I'm going to try and see if I can do it. But this is the end of putting the Leupold on the Smith & Wesson M&P. So give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Ring the bell if you want notifications. Be safe, have fun. Froggy out, bye-bye. Hey, one more thing for you guys and your women. Father's Day is coming up. So women, buy your guys a gun. Guys, buy yourself a gun. Protect our constitutional rights to keep and bear. They're not suggestions. Our founding fathers called them rights. And to be a little bit technical, and I'm not going to turn this into a political channel, but the Constitution doesn't give you the right. It says the right shall not be infringed, all right? So the right comes from God, or if you don't believe in God, whatever. But in this country, we have it. It shall not be infringed. So let's go, Brandon. You guys know what that means. Bye. Well, one more little thing. You know, Froggy loves the details. So because I'll be taking this off, putting the red dot on for close, quick action practice, I put green, 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 green. That's where this scope goes on. And orange, orange. And I will go mark the red dot mount, orange, orange. And then it just takes some of the brain work out of it. You know just where it goes, get it right the first time. Okay? So right away, talking about bore sighting this, you can see I can't do it with my eyeball because the barrel runs, on a dead level, runs right into where the stock is. So even if I take the bolt out, what I need to look through is going to be down here. So I think that's mostly for hunting rifles with a bolt action where you can take the bolt out and the stock drops down this way so you can look through it. I'm going to have to get a laser bit that fits on the end of this, and then I'll be able to bore sight it. Okay, sorry about that. So it'll be another video in a while. Happy Father's Day. Froggy out. Bye-bye.